we are going to learn in this webinar. Now you've also understood what the mnemonic device is. Now the question comes that, well, a lot of sentences can be formed. How to make a good mnemonic? What actually makes a good mnemonic out of a random normal sentence? For example, there is a mnemonic that says, that is a whiteboard. Let's assume that is a whiteboard means something different, something that you can remember. A few days from now, you might be wondering whether it was a whiteboard or a blackboard, something that doesn't stick in your mind. Now, what makes a good mnemonic is there are two keys to make a good mnemonic. One of it is to make your own mnemonic. All right, make your own mnemonic. Take your time, whatever information you want to learn, spend some time making your own mnemonic out of it. That process will stick in your mind. And the second thing that will help you make your own mnemonic stick in your mind is make it quirky. Okay, make it strange. Make it strange, make it weird. For those of you who know Hindi, jitna ajeeb hoga, utna badhiya hai, because that sticks in your mind. So for example, the pie sentence that we saw, a huge container of coffee will always pop up in your mind whenever you're thinking of pie from now on. Now, why do I have this image right here? For those of you who have seen this particular TV series, this guy, Benedict Cumberbatch, plays Sherlock on BBC's TV series named Sherlock. Now, Sherlock Holmes is a creation of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I'm sure a lot of you must have read the books of Sherlock Holmes. Now, Sherlock Holmes is famous for his memory palaces. He has a brilliant memory. He can connect things from here to there. And the way he programs his memory palaces is using mnemonic devices. All right. So yes, mnemonic devices are proven methods. Make your own mnemonics and make them quirky and strange. All right. So I am going to ask you this question again, whether the idea of a mnemonic and how to make that is clear. Please choose your responses, guys. Okay, so till the time you are choosing your responses, this section is going to be an interactive one. I want you to bombard the question section with as many questions as you want to ask, be it academic or non-academic. Now, in between the session, at specific points of time, I will go to the question section and check out the questions, and I'll answer your queries as well. All right. So in the meanwhile, the supporting staff is also answering your questions on the questions box itself. So now I'll close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so around 90% of you again say yes. Okay. For those of you who are still not clear, don't worry about it. As we go on into this method, it will become absolutely clear. Okay, so now, as you can see right here, this is the modern periodic table. Why am I showing you the modern periodic table? Well, because we are going to use the memory technique of mnemonics to memorize the whole periodic table. Yes, A to Z, whole periodic table, all right, and not just the S block, not just P block, S, P, D, and F block, all of it. And the best part about it is that you will be able to reproduce the periodic table in less than 2 minutes. Yes, you will be able to write it down on paper in less than 2 minutes, and I will show you that in the meanwhile when the session will continue. Okay, so we will use mnemonic devices to memorize the periodic table. All right, moving on, we will use the mnemonics blockwise. Okay, as we all know that we have the S block, we have the P block, we have the D block, and here we have the F block. Now, since scientists have already taken so much effort and pain to segregate and classify these blocks, we will use their information as well, and we will learn the S block and P block group wise, and we will learn the D block and F block period wise from left to right. S and P block top to bottom, D and F block left to right. Okay. Okay. So now we've understood that we will apply our mnemonic device group by group. So first of all, what I'll do is I will check the S block, and this is of course my first group. All right, pretty simple. Now I'll tell you a tiny story that happened to me in back in 8th class. So I used to be a bit academically oriented back then, and I wanted to memorize the whole periodic table. There was a maths teacher, his name was Mr. Rakesh, and he was a very jolly fellow. I was good friends with him, and I just randomly went to him and said, "Sir, please tell me how to memorize the periodic table." That sentence he said at that point of time, I still have in my mind since 8th standard, and that is, "Hari liye naam kar rab se faryad." All right, and what this is basically, as you can see, you have hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Hari liye naam kar rab se faryad. You can imagine that a guy called Hari is bent down on his knees and is praying to God. Hari liye naam kar rab se faryad. See the power of mnemonics. I only heard this sentence once from that guy back in 8th standard. I don't know how many years have gone by, 8, 9 years, more than that. Yeah, it still is in my mind. So this one is in Hindi, yeah, and I understand a lot of you guys are not so comfortable with Hindi. So I'll give you something in English as well, okay? And that one goes something like this. Holy, nasty kids rub cat's fur. Okay, so as you can see, you have hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. Holy nasty kids rub cat's fur, and this one, my dear friends, is of course in English. What is wrong with my spelling? Yeah, cool stuff. So simple as that. All you need to do in order to remember the first group of the periodic table is to either think of Hari who's praying to God, or think of some holy nasty kids who are trying to rub a cat's fur and chasing the cat around. Okay, cool. So now what I'll do is let me open the question section and let me see what you guys are up to there. Okay, you know that one already. Lots of people know. Please tell different techniques than these. Yes, I will tell a lot of techniques. Yeah. Okay. Sessions for biology and physics. Yes, other teachers will give you. Lots of questions coming from you guys. Yes, and my staff will be handling all of your queries. Okay. So this is how you memorize the first group. Okay. Let's jump on to the second group. All right. So this is the second group of the periodic table, which is also from the S block. Now, the way I memorize it is, going to be interesting for all of you Harry Potter fans out there, because the way I memorize it in my mind is beta muggle ka sar bada. Read this barium and radium as bada. Beta muggle ka sar bada. Now muggle are non-magic folk. You guys of course know if you've read or seen Harry Potter. And you have beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Okay, and the way you can memorize it in English is beer mugs can serve bar rats. Okay, so instead of imagining beta muggle whose head is huge, you can think of beer mugs that can serve bar rats. Okay, you can imagine a bar, rats are running around trying to drink beer from huge beer mugs. Okay, and as you can see, again, we have beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. All right, guys, cool. Now, I believe all of you guys are super intelligent. You must have gotten this method easily by yourselves. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll move on to the P block. Okay, and let's see the group 13 and group 14. Group 13 and group 14. Okay, the boron family and the carbon family. Let's see what the time is right now. Right now it is 9:19 p.m. Okay, what I'm going to do is I will give you guys a little bit of time. Okay, you have all the knowledge that you need right now. So I'll give you a little bit of time. Let's wait until 9:21 p.m. And you guys, what you should try to do is make your own mnemonics, MYOM. Make your own mnemonics for these two groups. Now, you might know some mnemonics that are from the internet, well and good, but I would encourage you to make your own mnemonics so that we can actually memorize this. And you might be wondering, why are we memorizing the periodic table? What use is this for NEET? Don't worry, I'll also come to that. We will solve some questions that are from NEET previous years that are directly solvable just by looking at the periodic table. Okay, so take time till 9:21. Try to solve this, and as soon as you come up with your own mnemonic, you can push it in the chat box. All right, and until then, I'll see what questions are coming up in the chat box from you guys. Okay, so a lot of good feedback coming from you guys as well. Okay, guys, there are a lot of questions that are related to general chemistry that you guys are pumping in. Don't worry, we will address those in the last 5 to 10 minutes of this session. Okay, Akshat is asking whether we will get a recording. Yes, you will get a recording after the session. So don't forget to check your emails after the session, because a lot of information from the session will be sent to you via email. So yes, you will get a recording. Now, I am also getting a lot of good mnemonics from you guys. I won't tell it to you right now because there might be some people who are trying to attempt. So giving you just a little more time, perhaps 10-20 seconds more. Yeah. Okay, great reviews coming from you guys. Now, let us see. Let me run a poll and check how many of you are already done with this task. Okay, 30% of you have voted. Guys, quickly choose an option that is coming onto your screen. Yeah, 68% of you have voted. Okay, I'm closing the poll very soon, so please vote if you haven't already. Closing it in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Closed. Okay, so out of those who have voted, around 60% say yes and 40% say no. You're already taking some time to make your mnemonics. Good. Don't worry about it. Okay. So now what I'll do is थोड़ा सा यहीं पे discuss करते हैं. Let's discuss it right here. Yeah. So I'll give you hints about how it runs in my mind. The fifth group, which is the boron family, I remember it simply as Bal-Gental. Okay, you just write down the elementary symbols, the atomic symbols of these elements, and read them out aloud. Bal-Gental. It's as simple as that. Okay, if you want to go into a sentence instead of just one word, you can say that Big Al gave Indian telepathy. Okay, so Big Al gave Indian telepathy. You can imagine a huge big guy called Al. He's giving Indian telepathy to all of the people around him. Okay, and for the carbon family, the way I memorize it is, can silly Germans snatch lead? Lead is basically plumbum or PV. Okay, can silly Germans snatch lead? Pretty easy a sentence and helps you remember the carbon family from top to bottom. Again, the things that you've worked out are going to work best for you. These are just what stick in my mind. So yes, I am teaching you the technique, how to use it on your own. I am not telling you to cram anything from my side. Now, before we do the rest of the P block and F block and all that jazz, I'll teach you how to do the first period of the D block. Okay. Now, why am I showing you this? Because when you go period wise, there are a higher number of elements there. So just in order to see how it works for a period, I have put up this particular thing in front of you. I'll quickly tell you how it goes on in my mind. Ready? The easiest way that I think is there to remember this particular period is Sakti Vikarman Feko Nikuzan. Just read it out. Sakti Vikarman Feko Nikuzan. It sounds like a Hindi word. Yeah. And for those of you who again want to form a sentence, I'll write a sentence and then you'll see the relation with the period. And that goes like Scotty Wickerman. Yeah. Scotty Wickerman fed Coney cousin. Or you can write this as cousin. Okay, so you get the connection. You have scandium, from T you have titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc from the son of the cousin. Okay, so Scotty Wickerman fed Coney cousin. Sakti Wickerman feko Nikuzan. You can remember it like that. And since I've studied so much chemistry in my 5 years at IIT, the way I remember it in my mind is scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, ferrum, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. Just like that. Okay, so depends on sheer amount of practice that you put in. All right. This is the way I remember the first period of the D block. Now, it is 9:26 p.m. right now, and I'm sure it is enough of telling you what to do with the mnemonics. So, to make life simpler for you, to make it easier for you, what I've done is before the session, wrote down everything on a piece of paper, yes, and I've uploaded it here. Now, you can take a snapshot of this if you want to, or remember to open your email after the webinar around 15-20 minutes after the webinar. This mail will be sent to you by a Vedantu email ID, and you will have this page as an attachment in there, so you can, save it later as well if you don't want to right now. So just quickly, let's go through this. We've done group 1, we've done group 2, we've done Balgental, we've done silly Germans who are snatching lead. For nitrogen, something like nahi pasand aise sab bill works, or you can say never put arsenic in antimony bins. In this particular sentence, arsenic in antimony, the two elements are there in the sentence itself. Saves a little bit of time in remembering what the elements were, right? Then you have the oxygen family, OS se tepo, or you can say O se tepo. Now, what is tepo? You guys must be wondering, what is tepo? Well, when you are in examination and this person is asking you to show him your answer sheet, yeah, this guy is trying to copy from you, you tell him usse tepo. Tepo means to copy. So this sentence refers to trying to copy from someone else, usse tepo, or you can simply say, oh, sulfur sells 10 pots. Then this one was given by a student in one of my sessions, and this is perhaps various mnemonics that I've come across. Fir harai auntie. Cracks always. And then you have cleverly brought in a tire. Work, anything that's and you've made your own will work the best for you. Then do pay attention to the this is actually very interesting. Who comes up with that, but I found this out on the internet and I found that it actually sticks in your mind. Or if you are again a Harry Potter fan like me, he never arrived. Crumb Xeroxed Ron. Crumb and Ron are characters in the book or the movie. Yeah. So again, you can take a snapshot of this, or you can download it after the session from the email that is going to be sent to you. This page tells you about the D block and the F block. We've already done this one. Similarly, you have period 5 and period 6. You can go through these after taking a screenshot, or you can go through these preferably after the session is done. Okay, once the email is sent out to you. So for example, if we see this one, so in Hindi it goes like, yaar zara November month tak ruka rahe, padi hai aage Cadillac. Now Cadillac is a very fancy car, so imagine you are telling your friend to wait for another month. Yaar zara November month tak ruka rahe, padi hai aage Cadillac. Okay, and you will be able to remember all of these: yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, silver, and cadmium. Okay, so all of these can be memorized by this sentence or this one in English, which you can go period 6. Then for F block, now I have been bragging about this periodic table for the last 6 or 7 sessions. Now, hello. Yeah, okay. So my audio connection had gone somewhere. I don't know why. Anyway, so F block. Now, a lot of people have difficulty memorizing the F block. Okay. So the way F block goes is you have so many of these: cerium, praseodymium, neodymium, promethium, samarium, so on and so forth. Yeah. The way I remember these is break it into parts and then make mnemonics out of it. So for example, for lanthanides, I have celebrating producer and Pam Sam European Gadhe. For those of you who know Gadhe, it's already very funny. For those of you who don't, Gadhe means donkey. Yeah, so first 5 of these done. Celebrating producer and Pam Sam European Gadhe. Right? Then the rest of them, which are the last 6 or 7, tumble dyed hot engineers to make Yiblu. You can read it as Yiblu, a random syllable that I made out of it just in order to remember. So you have tumble dyed hot engineers to make Yiblu. Okay, pretty simple. Similarly, you can break the actinides as well into 2, 3 parts as however you want to. Okay, and what that will do is it will enable you to memorize the whole periodic table, and trust me, it's going to help you a lot in solving inorganic questions. Now, let me just quickly run a poll which asks you whether the idea is clear or not. Let me see what your responses are. Let me just drink water as well. Okay, I'm getting a very good response from you guys. That's so nice to see that most of you are actually enjoying this. Okay, guys, around 80% of you have voted. I'll wait for a bit more. Okay, closing the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So out of those who have voted, 90% say yes, the idea is clear. Really feels nice to be able to connect to you guys. For those of you who aren't still clear, don't worry. This is the beauty of having online sessions. You will be able to see a recorded video of the whole session. You will get these mnemonic charts as an email after the session. Yeah. So trust me, all is well. ठीक है भाई. Now comes the time for the challenge. Let's reproduce the periodic table. Now, I've been bragging about this periodic table, right? That you'll be able to memorize it fully, you'll be able to reproduce it in less than 2 minutes, so on and so forth. Let us see if that actually can be done. All right, so right now I have no reference material in front of me. My screen is shared in front of you. My screen is shared with you guys. So I can't cheat because I have nothing else on the screen. What I'll try to do right now is I'll try to write the whole periodic table using the mnemonic techniques, okay? And you can take a stopwatch and try to time me. I hope I remember all of it, yeah? And I will try to complete the periodic table in less than 2 minutes, all right? Are you guys ready? Okay, let me begin. You can start the time if you want to note right now. Okay. लिए नाम कर रब से फरियाद, and you have बेटा मगल का सर बड़ा. Okay, then from here we have scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc. Then after here we have B, C, N, O, F, neon, and we have Balge in Tal. Then we have carbon family, lead, and then we have नहीं पसंद ऐसे सब बिल ओस से टे पो. Then fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. I just remember it as they are. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. Okay, moving here. Actinium now. Hmm. Yeah, and then you have Cadillac, then hafte tak we require, wait, gold and mercury. See, SPD block is already done. This is generally more than enough for most of the questions of the competitive exams, but still, let's write the F block as well. And that goes something like Sam European Gadhe. Then we have tumble dyed hot engineers to make ye blue, and the last one is again a little tough, but I'll try to make it. Three planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. American Commissioner, BK, California. Einstein, Fermi, and Mendeleev were Nobel laureates. Nobel laureates. Okay, guys, done. I think I took around 2 minutes 30 seconds maximum. Yeah, but I was speaking in the middle as well. So yes, as you can see, it is possible to do this. You can memorize the whole periodic table. You might be wondering where the hell is this line? Yeah. Well, actually, these elements are very recently made in the laboratories. No research is done on these. So not a lot of questions will come from this line. So don't need to spend a lot of time making the mnemonics out of those. Okay. So as you saw, it is possible. Now, I'll tell you the story that how I used to solve my exams. So before my question paper began, I always used to solve chemistry first because that was something that I was good at. I used to make it a point that I begin with chemistry. Why? Because when you start a paper, it is necessary that you build your confidence. Okay. When you start the examination, say you start with the toughest subject and you start solving the questions, and then you suddenly realize, oh my God, I'm not able to solve anything. That's going to take your confidence down to the dungeons. That'll help in a negative way. That'll be a negative catalyst. Trust me, start with the subject that you are strongest at. Okay. I was strong at chemistry. Before beginning the paper, as soon as the time started, I would scribble down the whole periodic table in front of the paper. Number one, it would give me confidence that I remember the whole table. And then in the course of the paper, it would help me solve a lot of questions which would otherwise be a little, tedious or difficult to follow. Okay. So let me ask you this question yet again. Is the idea of all of this clear? Is the idea clear that you can actually reproduce the periodic table in your examinations and this technique is actually helpful? Yeah. So around 70% of you have already voted. Yes, good responses coming from you guys. Let me wait for another 7 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So a very good response from you guys. 90% of you, more than 90% actually, are telling me that you got the idea. The idea is clear. Awesome. Now, a lot of you have the question that how can we actually memorize the atomic numbers? Yeah. Now, the periodic table is clear. How can we memorize the atomic numbers? Because that is also important, right? I'll tell you that as well. All you need to do is take this last group, okay, and memorize the atomic numbers of these, and that is also very logical. I'll write down the atomic numbers of helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, all the noble gases, and that is something like 2, 10, 18, 36, 54, and 86. Okay, and this one, of course, since it is the last element, which is an octium, which is 118. Okay, an octium. Yeah. Okay. So this is how you can memorize the atomic numbers as well. Instead of memorizing each and every atomic number, that is kind of actually it is stupid to do that. So you just try and remember these. Okay. And remembering these is also very easy because there is a logic that exists. Gap of 8, gap of 8, gap of 18, gap of 18. यहाँ पे भी gap of 32, if I'm not wrong.
Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
Enroll for the course, yes, I will tell you how to enroll for the course. Yeah, and for those of you who are asking for recordings of the session, yes, it will be sent to you after the session. Okay, a lot of your questions have already been answered by the supporting staff. Yeah, Abhishek Kumar says melody इतनी चॉकलेटी क्यों है भाई, ये तो मेरे को भी नहीं पता. Yeah, ठीक है. So all of your questions will be answered. Yeah, and I've taken the broad ones out of those. Okay, so yes, no one knows melody kitni chocolatey kyun hai. Brilliant. Yeah, okay, so this is how you memorize the whole periodic table. Okay, now some of you are saying how is this relevant to NEET? Well, I'm jumping to that right now. Question. Okay, so the question says the element Z equal to 114 has been discovered recently. It will belong to which of the following family / group and electronic configuration? Okay. A pretty straightforward question if I have the whole image of periodic table in front of my mind. If I do not, what's going to happen is in the examinations you are going to be nervous, trust me. So unless and until you have like a proper source of information built into your mind, there is a huge possibility of screwing up the question. Yeah, you might know all the jazz related to the orbitals and how the electrons are distributed, and you can become Einstein and back calculate what 114's electronic configuration can be. But trust me, in the examinations, that's going to take a toll on your mental health. It's better to memorize and keep the periodic table in front of you and solve this question. Okay, so right now it is 9:42 in my clock. I am giving you time till 9:43. Okay, just a little bit of time. Try to see this question, try to think of this question, and if you want to open up a periodic table in front of you as a reference, you are free to do that. Because ultimately, after the session, when you practice for 15 to 20 minutes, when you see and make all the mnemonics, you will never forget the periodic table. As you saw the result that I made, I remember that periodic table since my JEE days, around 7 years from now. Yeah, ठीक है. So take some time. I'll run a poll. उतनी देर में try to think of the answer for this particular question, and then we'll see how periodic table is actually helpful. ठीक है. 9:43 is the clock has already struck 9:43. Let me wait for another 10-15 seconds. Okay, so I am sure a lot of you are already done with the options, and I am seeing a lot of right answers in the questions section as well. That is really nice. You guys will definitely crack NEET. Okay, choose the correct option from the poll. Okay, I am getting a lot of majority that is skewed towards option number 1, that says the carbon family. There are people who think it's going to be the oxygen family. There are people who think it's going to be the nitrogen family. The halogen family is not so strong here, which is actually a good thing. Yeah, okay. So 71% of you have voted. Guys, I'm trying to close the poll. First is carbon family, second is oxygen family, third is nitrogen family, fourth is halogen family. Closing the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Okay, so quickly see, this is what you guys have said. 68% say A, 13% and 13% say B and C, 6% say D. ठीक है, अब देखते हैं what is the crux of this question. All you need to see is where Z114, atomic number 114, is going to lie on the periodic table. Instead of, using your brains and trying to make a lot of stuff in your mind itself, go to the periodic table that you've drawn in front of the paper, in the beginning of the paper. This is 118. What is this going to be? 117, 116, 115, 114. As simple as that. If you had the periodic table right in front of you, this took not more than 2 seconds. Yes? And the best part is you will be confident about your answer. You won't have things in your mind. You will have it on paper. Yeah? So 114 lies with the carbon family, and that, my dear friends, is our answer. Yeah? This question was asked in 2017 NEET. in chemistry. And as you know, these competitive exams are so damn competitive, even one question can translate into a rank of thousands ka difference. Okay, and for top rankers, it could mean that there is a difference of, you know, top 50, and you just do this question right, you could go to the top rank as well. Yeah, so even one question, 3-4 marks, whatever the weightage is, it is a huge deal in the examinations, and this method would make this answer sure shot correct. Okay, 2017 NEET problem. For those of you who were asking how and why all of this is relevant to NEET, there you go. Okay, again, next question. I have hidden the options because the answer was written there from the place that I've taken this question. So I'll write 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, this is a little trickier, yeah. And what this says is, let me read the question out. Because of lanthanoid contraction, which of the following pairs of elements have nearly the same atomic radii? Numbers in parentheses are atomic numbers. Now, what is lanthanoid contraction? Well, basically, after lanthanum and actinium, okay, in the D block, there exists another block called the F block. And in the F block, I hope you can see my hands and my face in the webcam. Yeah. So in the F block, the atomic orbital that is filled primarily is the F orbital. Okay. And F orbital has a very, very, very poor and shitty screening effect. Okay. So no matter how many electrons you keep putting in it, the effective nuclear charge is going to increase significantly. All right. So because of lanthanoid contraction, what happens is, even if you add another shell on top of the existing shell, it will get so attracted towards the nucleus, because all of these extra electrons that were in the F block are doing nothing to prevent these electrons from coming closer. They're not repelling at all. Those electrons are in their own chill mode in the F block. Yeah, chilling in the F orbitals. So what you have to think of is, because of that lanthanoid contraction, because of the existence of lanthanoids, which of these have nearly the same atomic radii? All right, numbers in the parentheses are atomic numbers. Now I'm giving you a little bit of time to solve this question. All right, take your time. Right now it is 9:47. Let's wait till 9:49 p.m. Yeah, take your time, look at the periodic table, try to understand what this is asking, and answer the question. Okay, so I'm giving you another minute. Try to think of what this question is trying to say to you. Chalo, jitni der mein you guys think of the answer to this question, let me see what are the more. Okay, a lot of people are saying option 3, a lot of people are saying option 2. ठीक है, बड़े options आ रहे हैं. Good that you are trying to attempt these. Simran Kaur is asking, is it relevant for JEE? Yes, definitely it is relevant for JEE. Nothing more relevant than this. ठीक है, guys, it is 9:49. Let me run a poll again and choose the correct option. Okay, a lot of people say C. Some of you say B. A or D में थोड़े 3-4% of people are there. Okay, guys. So after this question, what we'll do is I will tell you more about how you can go ahead with this course. Yeah. Okay. So closing the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. ठीक है दोस्तों, I'll share the results of the poll with you. So as you can see, majority around 70% says C. Some of you say B, and rest are, you know, a little bit of percentage in A and D as well. ठीक है भाई, कोई बात नहीं, देखते हैं what is going on here. Now let us go back to the periodic table. First of all, we will see titanium and zirconium. Titanium and then zirconium. There is no involvement of the F block here, so definitely not our answer. Yeah, so F block ना यहाँ शुरू हो रहा ना यहाँ शुरू हो रहा. The F block starts here. Yeah, so doesn't make sense at all. This is not an answer. Zirconium and niobium. Okay, this sounds interesting. Let us see. There's zirconium and niobium. There's no there's no F block in between here as well. So फिर से again this particular option is wrong. Then you have zirconium and hafnium. Okay. Moving back to the periodic table, you have zirconium and you have hafnium. Now zirconium ke baad you went till lanthanum, and then after lanthanum you have these many D block elements, sorry, F block elements, right? So from zirconium to hafnium there was a huge row of F block elements, and that's why this answer is actually the correct answer, zirconium and hafnium. So now, how did the periodic table help us? It simply helped us see what were the exact positions of the options that were given as the objective choices. Yes, बहुत आसानी से we could see where exactly these elements are. If I randomly tell you zirconium and hafnium, you wouldn't be able to imagine whether they were in the D block or the F block or even the S or P block. Yeah, but now since the periodic table was in front of you, again took me hardly 5 to 6 seconds if I would be solving it on my own. Option 3 is the correct answer. You can check for the option 4 now. Quickly, before we move on, I will like to show you a very interesting website that I've found out, and it's known as ptable.com. Now, this is a dynamic periodic table. What this does is when you hover onto any element, it will show you the properties of that. Yeah, as you can see, the big box is changing as I move around. Yeah, and let's say you want to see the properties of these elements. You want to see, let's say, the melting point. I chose melting point from properties here. Helium's melting point, it says 0 Kelvin. Tin's melting point, the yellow thing right here, this one. Yeah, if I go to tin, it says 505. If I go to zinc, it says 692. So this is a very nice thing to play around with. Yeah, so if you want to verify what you've written down as the periodic table, or if you just want to play with the brilliant ideas of the periodic table, this is a brilliant website to do that. All right, now before I come to this question, this is actually a mind twister. Yeah, so I was planning it to give to you guys as a homework. So you guys will receive the recording of this session. So anyway, take this question down. Okay, take it as a homework. It is also a previous year question, by the way. This one was asked in 2015 NEET. Yeah, so again, relevant to your examination directly. This one is also nice, tricky, but solvable through the periodic table. This was also asked in 2016 NEET. Now, take a snapshot of this, take a picture from your mobile phone, or just wait for the recorded session to come to you in the email after this class, okay? And try to solve this at your home. And when we begin the actual classes, we will look at this particular question then, okay? Now, it is 9:53. Before I jump to the question section and answer your final questions and see what your response is like, so on and so forth, I will like to draw your attention to this particular link right here that says tinyurl.com/crackneet. Okay, so it goes like tinyurl.com/crackneet. Pretty easy to remember, I believe. So when you open this link, what will happen is this page on Vedantu will open up, all right? And here you can see all the summary of the NEET crash course, what it is all about, what is the course details, syllabus, the subjects being taught, what are the number of hours each subject will be taught, so on and so forth, okay? And now, one thing that I want you to see here is that the course price is generally 20,000 rupees, but I went to my team and I told them, see, I am taking the webinar. I want my students to be treated specially. So I am giving you a discount of around 12,500 rupees. Yeah. So since you guys have been so awesome attending this webinar at night, 9 p.m. on a Thursday, yeah, I want you guys to be treated specially. This is the discount amount, which is 12,500. Now, mind you, that this particular discount is valid only till midnight. Okay. And now you might be thinking whether to take this course or whether not to take this course or how it's going to be helpful. Well, see, the advantages of this course will be that you will have awesome teachers. I hope you enjoyed the way I taught you. And yes, as you saw, in just an hour, we will able to learn the whole periodic table. So if content is delivered to you in a proper manner, your brain can actually accumulate it very quickly and make sense of it as well. Okay? So the teachers at Vedantu will help you do that. Backed by technology, as you saw, I could literally show you websites while running the course. I could literally upload images, so on and so forth. Yeah. Backed by technology makes life easier. Great content and questions. The most important thing at right now at this point of time, when your examinations are just like a month from now, yes, it is absolutely necessary that you solve as many questions as possible. You do as much practice as possible instead of going into the theory and trying to, revise everything once again. It's great to solve questions. And then sometimes you think, where do I get the questions from, dude? Don't worry, we will provide you all the content, all the questions that you need to revise and solve. Okay. And this is perhaps the best part, since our great India is growing at such an amazing speed. There is so much traffic that we have to go through that you will perhaps spend an hour or 2 hours of your day just in traffic, and that is literally time that is wasted. So this is just a bonus point of being able to learn online, that you won't need to travel. All right. Now it is 9:57 p.m. Okay. I will jump back to this question once again. Screenshot ले लो if you haven't already. Don't worry, the video will reach you in some time. So after the session ends, you will get an email. ठीक है, उसमें you will get the video link as well, and you will get another email which will be for the mnemonic sheet, the one that I had uploaded a few slides back. यहीं कहीं होगा, this one. Okay, this you will also get in an email in a very proper PDF format. Okay, now 3 minutes are left. Let me see what questions you guys are asking. I'll try to give you your answers at the end. Acha. Karthik is asking, you have 1 year. Well, if you have 1 year, you can focus on the theory as well. JEE mains, what about JEE mains? Amulya is asking, what about JEE mains? Well, this concept is necessary for JEE mains, but guys, any examination that you have to crack in a short span of time now, please trust me, you need to solve as many questions as possible. Try to do previous year tests, try to do mock tests as much as you can. All right. And what those mock tests will do is they will help you practice for the actual examination. And once you are done with your mock test, take it out, analyze where you went wrong, analyze what could have gone wrong, where you did the silly mistakes, on and so forth. Vinay is asking, no tricks to solve organic chemistry. Don't worry, register for the course. There will be so many tips and tricks coming your way, because it is a crash course. We have to give out some secrets to you that will help you do all of this in a short span of time. Okay. Mosina is asking 12,500 for all subjects. No, I am giving you 12,500 as a discount. You have to pay only 7,500 total. Okay, you can see here 7,500 total. I am giving you discount till midnight. Now these guys, I tried to convince them. They said okay, till tonight we'll give your students a discount of 12,500. So yes, if you are actually interested in this, this could be a good money saver for you guys. Yeah, ठीक है. Okay, P-table website is awesome. Yes, it is actually awesome. Okay, so now I am going to run this final poll. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining this session, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, because I always love talking to you guys. A brilliant audience had come, yeah, and it was great talking to you guys, trying to teach you something that I have learned for so long, I have had in my mind for so long, guys.